I'm in the world, but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, hitting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They ban Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! Keep the PlayStations! Let's go to Target!
I'm in the world, but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, hitting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They ban Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! Keep the PlayStations! Let's go to Target!
Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. It's Monday night. We're kicking the week off, right? With the Dreaded Conservative joke. Okay. I know I'm late. Producer said you must be overworked. I am overworked. I got home from work. I had to put all this together, and I had to finish writing that thing for the debate. So, yeah, my alarm went off. I hit it. I was like, I'm awake. And then I said, but I'm going to wait just a second to pick my head up off the pillow. That was a bad idea. That didn't work out too good. Because 1 second became like 30 minutes. So I'm surprised I woke up on like even close to on time, because usually if I hit the button on my alarm and I don't hit snooze, but then I don't wake up, shoot, I'm surprised I didn't wake up at 9 o'clock. Be late for work. But I'm up. I'm here. I did it. All right, what do we got today? More Iran stuff again. I was trying to like avoid you know, because we've been doing Iran stuff every week. I was trying to like avoid Iran stuff and stick to other things, but it always leads back to the Middle East. So, what's it called? Trump posted a picture looking like Jesus, and a lot of people are saying it's blasphemous. I don't know. I don't really like it. We'll talk about it. What else? Strait of Hormuz blockade started today. Peace talks with J.D. Vance, Jared Kushner, and Witkoff happened. We'll talk about that. And then we got some other stories. Shoot, what was I don't have my notes. Where are my notes? Oh yeah, the Ye stuff. Ye sold out 2 concerts, made $33 million, and then he got banned from the UK. We'll take a look at that. Take a look at Ye's apology tour yet again. And then my girl, if you've been riding with us a while, you know I love Savannah Hernandez. If I can simp for 3 women, she's one of them. Love Sav. She got attacked by a bunch of Antifa people. Some of the, well, at least one of them is a recognizable character. That dude that's always wearing the cowboy hat out there in, where are they at? They're in Portland, I think. Yeah, that cowboy hat guy that has been arrested, and he's always at the protests. But then another guy who was, maybe they're in, are they in Minnesota? It might be in Minnesota where it happened. But another guy is like a politician, or at least he's related to some politicians. He was there, and he shoved the crap out of Sav, and his daughter attacked Sav repeatedly. So that's all crazy. We're going to cover that. We're going to watch all the views from all the different angles. I don't have any like rapid fire news for this week. So when we get to that segment, I'm going to ask for the audience to just, you got any local news stories, any weird news, anything, you know, less mainstream that I probably didn't see, you know, you can send me some tips, and we'll look into stuff. We'll just peruse the internet for the rapid fire segment. But that's the plan. That's what we got going. 2 middles don't make a non-middle. All right. Let's get it. All right. So what happened with the Jesus picture? So, okay. First off, the lead up to this, from the Independent, Trump slams Pope Leo as weak and posts picture of himself as Jesus healing the sick. President Trump has branded Pope Leo the 14th. He's only the 14th Pope? No way. XIV, that's 14, right? Yeah. 14th. Well, the 14th Leo, I guess, is what that means. As weak on crime and terrible on foreign policy. Is he a politician or is he the Pope? In a late night True Social blitz, which also saw him uploading an AI generated image of himself dressed as Jesus. Well, he's dressed with a robe, you know, and he's got like magical powers. That's not necessarily Jesus. I don't see him on a cross. I'm trying to cover right now because this is pretty bad. I'm going to be honest. This is pretty bad. I don't know about all this stuff, Trump. This is kind of weird. all the people saying this is blasphemous and not happy about this. I get it. I get it. This isn't the best look. But he's not necessarily Jesus. He's just a guy in a robe with healing power in his hands, I guess. Maybe he's trying to look like a pope. Maybe he's trying to look like a better pope than Pope Leo. I don't know. In his lengthy Truth Social post, the president claimed that the Catholic Church's leadership had been arresting priests, ministers, and everybody else in the midst of the COVID pandemic, and suggested that he preferred the Pope's brother, your brother. I like your brother. I'll show you the picture in a second if you haven't seen it. If you're living under a rock and you haven't seen it yet, I'll show you in a second. I like his brother, Louis. He's like knows the Pope's brother on like a first name basis. I like his brother, Louis, much more. So crazy. I like his brother, Louis, much better than I like him because Louis is all MAGA. That's what he said. The president blasted. He gets it, and Leo doesn't. I don't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. The pope thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon? What? Pope Leo responded to Donald Trump on Monday and said he would always speak out in favor of peace. I have no fear of the Trump administration or speaking out loudly of the message of the gospel, which is what I believe I am here to do, what the church is here to do, he told reporters. I don't want to get into a debate with Trump. Nobody wants to get into a debate with Trump. Duh. I will continue to speak out loudly against war, looking to promote peace, promoting dialogue, and multilateral relationships among the states, to look for just solutions to problems. Leo continued aboard a papal flight to Algiers, where he is embarking on a 10-day tour of 4 African countries. Too many people are suffering in the world today. People are dying, children are crying. What's that? Dying. I don't know how the song goes. Too many people are suffering in the world today. Too many innocent people are being killed. And I think someone has to stand and say there's a better way. The U.S. president went on to suggest that his own election played a role in the Catholic Church's choice of the Pope in May 2025. Leo should be thankful because, as everyone knows, it was a shocking surprise, the president wrote. He wasn't on my list to be Pope, and he was only put there by the church because he was an American, and they thought that would be the best way to deal with President Donald J. Trump. If I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. Leo should get his act together as Pope, use common sense, stop catering to the radical left, and focus on being a great Pope, not a politician. He didn't make the meme, just reposted it. Trump also said, I don't think it was me as Jesus. It was me as a doctor healing people. That's what I said. That's what I said. I don't see Jesus in that picture. I just see a doctor healing people with magic, wearing a robe. Of course. So he didn't make the picture, somebody else did, and he just reposted it. That makes sense. I mean, he just saw it. He's like, I like that. That's funny. That's cool. Here's the pic. Let's get this pic up. Let me fix this real quick. Children hurting, people dying. Been good when you hear them crying. Do you practice what you preach? Turn the other cheek. Fun, how about things and the kindness from above. People got me questioning. Where is the love? Here we go. Triggered. Is he healing Epstein? Wow. I don't know who he's healing. Looks like he's healing look like Hunter Biden. You got a military guy, you got a woman praying, you got a nurse, and then he's healing this man. Then there's like a weird angel soldier thing in the top. That's kind of crazy. And a bald eagle. It's very patriotic. I would wear this on a t-shirt. Is it blasphemous? No, but it's close. You know, it is close. I get why people are mad, but also chill out. Chill out. Did I see people on my Facebook? They're like, it's okay, MAGA. You can admit that this is a problem. Are you ever going to admit that this is a problem? I mean, is it bad taste? Yeah, sure. But is it a problem? No. Grow up. Jeez. It's funny. Now, if he was carrying a cross and had a crown of thorns with blood dripping down his forehead, and he was holding a bottle of Evian water turned into wine, then I might be like, okay, that's definitely supposed to be Jesus. I just see an ancient, an old sage, a wise old sage, healing this poor man in the hospital bed. Is this what cope looks like? Is this what cope looks like, guys? I don't know. Am I wrong here? Is this bad? Is this really bad? I don't think it's really bad. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's kind of a stupid move, but he didn't even make. It's not like he's hanging out on AI and he's like, "Hey Siri, hey Grok, make me into Jesus. I'm gonna be just like Jesus." I don't think that's what he's doing. Somebody else made this. He found it. He's like, "I like that. Repost." He reposted it. And these people who are freaking out, they turned on Trump anyway, so who cares? You know, they don't support the president. They're just like the right and the left. They're all the same. They vote for a guy. The guy wins. Doesn't do everything exactly perfectly how they wanted it. So they turn on him. And then they complain and they complain and they complain until the next election. And they're like, we got the new guy. He's going to save America. And then they get him in. He doesn't do exactly what they want. So they complain and they complain and they complain. And they wait till the next election. And then our pendulum swings back and forth rapidly. It's just the way it goes in America. That's just the way it goes. It's what happens when you... It's what happens when you have 8-year term limits and you're constantly bringing in a new president every 4 to 8 years. And you have democracy and universal suffrage and everybody's just voting. And, 90% of them are low information, low propensity voters. This is what we get. We just get a bunch of butthurt people whining about the leadership every day, always. The same thing happens in places where they don't have democracy. Like we see the same thing in Iran, where the Shah was doing great things for Iran, and they were bitching and protesting and rioting and complaining. Then they get Khomeini, and then within, it takes longer there because they have longer terms. So there's more stability, but before long, they hate the Khomeini too. And then half the country is protesting and rioting again because of the Khomeini. Shah kills 4,000 people in the street. Khomeini kills 35,000 people in the street. 10 years from now, there's going to be a different leader in Iran, and he's going to kill 20,000 people in the street, or 30,000, 50,000 people in the street, because they're going to be protesting him. That's just how it goes. It's all over the world. People can't be content. They can't be satisfied with their leadership, or they can't stand behind their leaders. There's no loyalty in the world. Nobody wants to fight with their leader, stand behind their leader. But yeah, this is the picture everybody's freaking out and losing their mind over. I don't know. I think it's kind of poor taste. You know, it's a little, as a Christian, I'm like, I don't really like that. But am I gonna be outraged? Oh my God, it's so blasphemous. We need to take him out of office immediately. No, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't know. Anyway, what's the Hill saying about it? What's the Hill talking about? Before we finish this article, a little grift break. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Trying to hit that 6K. I need to check something. We got a new dono goal up for the new chair. And now you see all my ads are chairs. Because I've been looking at chairs. I need to look real quick in my Discord. Let's see if that debate is tomorrow. Okay. Just 1 second. Right here. Tuesday. Okay, so it's tomorrow. That's what I thought. That's good. That's what I thought. We got a debate tomorrow about Iran. So I'm ready for it. But yeah, help us hit the chair goal. Now let's get back on with the show. Oh, is this Pope Leo responding? Let's hear what Pope Leo's response is, and let's see Trump calling out the Pope here. Let's take a listen to this.
Why did you attack Pope Leo on Truth Social?
I don't think he's doing a very good job.
I don't think he's doing a good job.
He
He likes crime, I guess. I don't think he's doing a very good job. He likes crime, I guess.
he hit us. Think of it.
See, everybody does the soft Trump. Everybody, when they do their Trump impression, they do a very, oh, yes, oh, yes, very bigly. You got to do a strong Trump. I don't really like the Pope. What's he doing? This guy's crazy. Strong Trump, not a weak Trump.
He's worried about fear. What about the fear when the ministers and the priests and all of those great people that were arrested during COVID, and in many cases they're outside 10 feet apart?
And he's got a point here. You can't say he doesn't got a point. Like, I don't disagree with anything he's saying. I just think the picture is a little bad taste. It's kind of poor taste. But he didn't even make the picture. Duh. Like, he's not making these pictures on AI. He just sees them and reposts them.
And they were arrested. So we don't like it. We don't like a pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be...
He's also anti-immigration laws, right? I remember we covered when Pope Leo got I forget the word, when the freaking white smoke came up or whatever. I don't think he was the most liberal choice. He's more of a centered, compared to other ones. He's more center. But if I remember right, he was saying stuff about there are no illegal immigrants and stuff like that. some of that nonsense. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember, but Trump says he's liberal, so he's probably liberal.
Toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world. Now, I'm not a fan of Pope Leo.
I basically said that the message of the church, my message, the message of the gospel, blessed are the peacemakers. I do not look at my role as being.
I hate when people say that. Like, they don't even realize what they're saying. Blessed are the what? Is it blessed are the peacekeepers? No. What is it? It's blessed are the peacemakers. Well, how do you make peace in a time of unrest and instability? How do you make peace in a time like that? You have to be proactive. You have to do things to make peace. Sometimes those things that you have to do to make peace might be war. There's a time for war and there's a time for peace. There's a time to love. There's a time to hate. There's a time for war and there's a time for peace. It doesn't say there's a time for peace and then just always keep the peace. No, there's a time for war. Then there's a time for peace. You make war so that you can make peace. Peacemakers, not peacekeepers. Not inconsequential neutral parties who just stand around and watch things happen, and that's how you make peace. No, that's not how you keep peace either. You have to obtain peace. You have to make peace. And sometimes that means being a little harsh. Sometimes God made peace on earth. You know how he did it? He killed everyone. He brought a flood and wiped out, and then he made peace on earth. That's how you make peace.
Being politician. I don't want to get into a debate with him. I don't think that the message of the gospel is meant to be abused in the way that some people are doing. And I will continue to speak out loudly against war, looking to promote peace, promoting dialogue and multilateral relationships among the states to look for just solutions to problems.
And also, it's not like the Catholic Church has always been some harbor of peace, some anti-confrontation group. Like, the Catholic Church has never had any wars. What about the Crusades? Catholic Church gets down sometimes.
Too many people are suffering in the world today. Too many innocent people.
Would he denounce?
And I think someone has.
Would he denounce all of the previous popes who started to or fought in religious wars? Would he denounce them? I don't think he would. He'd say what they did was necessary and had to be done in order to make peace. Sometimes to make peace, you got to fight. Sometimes you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet.
To stand up and say, there's a better way to do this.
All right, what's the Hill saying? Probably going to be very similar to the Independent. I just want to see if there's a little more leftward slant here. AI depicting himself as Jesus healing sick people. Again, it does kind of look like a Jesus-y image, but he's not wearing a crown of thorns. You know, if he was wearing a crown of thorns, had a cross on his shoulder, and he's healing the guy, then I'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's way too far, Trump. You need to calm down, buddy. The image posted on Sunday shows him in a religious garb. Religious garb? A toga? A tunic? I don't know if that's necessarily religious garb. It's ancient. It's like ancient Middle Eastern desert garb. He's surrounded by his followers, an American flag, eagles, and the Statue of Liberty, along with other figures in the sky. The one figure is weird. There's like an angel soldier. Like a three-horned angel soldier. Those criticizing the post on social media were quick to call it blasphemous and called for the president to remove it. Why? Seriously, I can't understand why. Oh, this isn't him talking. Sorry. Why? Seriously, I can't understand why he'd post this. Is he looking for a response? Does he actually think this is? Does he actually think this? Does he actually think this? Conservative activist Riley Gaines wrote on X early. Oh, God, thanks. You got beat in a swimming meet by a guy, and now you're the face of conservatism? Nah. Either way, two things are true, she wrote. A little humility would serve him well. God shall not be mocked. I don't think he was mocking God. Michael Knowles weighed in saying, I assume someone has already told him, but it behooves the president both spiritually and politically to delete the picture no matter the intent. I mean, it's already, what's deleting it do now? It's not like it, all deleting it does is make him look weak. Make him look like a panderer. Marjorie, oh God, MTG, listen. Never trust a 3-name woman. Never trust the 3-name woman. She's a strong, independent woman. She wanted to keep her original name. She wants to make sure you know that she's not just her husband's wife. She's her own woman. She kept her maiden name, and she wants everybody to know it. She's a 3-named woman. You know what they say about people with 3 names? They might end up being MK Ultra assassins. That's what I know. If you didn't know, now you know. An Orthodox Easter, President Trump attacked the Pope because the Pope is rightly against Trump's war in Iran. And then he posts this picture of himself as if he is replacing Jesus. That's an assumption. She wrote, this comes after last week's post of his evil tirade on Easter and then threatening to kill an entire civilization. I completely denounce this and I'm praying against it. Oh, thanks, MTG. You know, if she runs for president, she could win. That would not be good. I agree. Take my name or don't. Yeah. That's the 3-name thing. The 3-name thing is some feminist BS where they don't want to take their husband's name. They want to keep their old name, but also take their husband's name. And then they get the 3 names. Okay, here's Leo's response. We already saw that. So that's about that. That's about it for that. Now let's move on to the peace talks. So Kushner, BBC's not going to let me. BBC's not going to let me read the article. I have it from Fox. That's fine. Vance, JD Vance, Jared Kushner, and Steve Witkoff, special envoy to Iran, went there for during the ceasefire. This is day 44 or 45 of the war, and it's like the first week of the ceasefire. They went over there. They spent 21 hours in peace talks, and they couldn't come to a deal. You know, Iran still wants their nuclear enrichment program. They liked the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal. They love that. That's how you know it was a bad plan, when Iran loves it. that they get to keep enriching their uranium as long as they don't make a weapon and they have no sanctions on them, no economic sanctions, and they can we just trust them not to make a nuke. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. They call us the big Satan. They chant death to America. They want us dead. You know, that's I'm going to talk about it in the debate tomorrow, but we're going to watch a video of it here today. I'll show you the Ayatollah Khomeini, the late Ayatollah Khomeini, about 7 years ago, saying that death to America has nothing to do with the American people. Death to America is about the leadership of America and how they will never stop chanting death to America until our leadership is dead. And he was talking specifically about Trump, but he said when Trump's gone, somebody else is going to come in his place and they'll be just as bad. And that's who they're saying death to when they say death to America. They're talking about whoever our leadership is, our military, our government, our leaders. That's who they want dead. Okay, well, how are you going to take them out without killing a bunch of American civilians? You're going to have to use a nuke. You're not going to put boots on the ground in America. The only thing you can do is like a coward launch a nuke at us. So we won't let you get one. Launch a fake nuke, a big bomb, a big scary bomb. Big scary boom boom bomb. But anyway, about these peace talks. So deal will be reached if U.S. abandon its totalitarianism. God, it's so dumb. They're all Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said Sunday an agreement with the United States was possible if Washington abandoned its totalitarianism and respects the rights of the Iranian nation. If the American government abandons its totalitarianism and respects the rights of the Iranian nation, ways to reach an agreement will certainly be found. He also praised Iran's negotiation team, including Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Kalibaf, saying, God gives you strength. Talks between the two sides broke down Saturday after hours of negotiations in Pakistan. Iran and the United States remain divided on key issues, including freedom of navigation in the Straits of Hormuz and the future of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We must really get enriched uranium. Why? No reason. No reason. Our goal is 60%. No reason why. Do not worry. Thank you, Gamagi. President Donald Trump said the U.S. will blockade vessels that enter or exit Iranian ports on Monday morning. The United States to blockade ships entering or exiting Iranian ports on April 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, I don't care about Australia. J.D. Vance, U.S. left planned talks in Pakistan this week after failing to reach a ceasefire deal with Iran. Did Freddie agree to that bet? Do you owe me $100? He said that they were all going to get kidnapped, that was Iran's plan, is to do these peace talks, and that they were just going to take they were going to take our vice president hostage. That's what Freddie said was going to happen. I bet him $100 that wouldn't happen. I was right, as usual. And but I don't think Freddie took the deal because I think he knew that it was wrong. That he was he sounded not too bright. Not so bright. So peace talks failed. Blockade started today? I think today, this morning. It started this morning, yeah. Day 44 of Middle East conflict. Trump says U.S. will blockade the Strait of Hormuz. So this is before it started. I'll find then we have AP talking about how it has started. The hyphenated ones are the worst. Yeah. The names. Yeah. So this is 20 hours ago. Truce in Iran. President Donald Trump said the temporary 2-week ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is holding well following the weekend's failed marathon negotiations. Now, if you listen to the media, what you'll hear, the mockingbird media phrase that is being repeated everywhere is a fragile ceasefire. They're all repeating it. They'll all say, we're in day 5 of the fragile Middle Eastern ceasefire between America and Iran. The fragile ceasefire. They all say the fragile ceasefire. But Trump says it's holding well. Straight blockade. The U.S. military said it will enforce a blockade on all traffic entering and leaving Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz from 10 a.m. Eastern Monday in accordance with Trump's demand after talks faltered. Tehran has vowed to retaliate against any military vessels in the strait. Well, Trump said Trump said if you touch any of our ships during this blockade, we're basically going to F you up pretty bad. Ripple effects. Oil topped $100 a barrel again on Sunday as the blockade threatens to further disrupt the global economy. That's a key word there. This isn't just affecting America's economy. This is affecting the world's economy. And if the whole world's economy is hurt, you know who comes out on top? America. If Iran can't ship out barrels, you know who gets hurt the most? Iran. Then the second most, China. China, one of our enemies. 13 to 15% of all of their crude oil use is the oil that they get from the Strait of Hormuz. Something like 40% of all of their oil import. I've seen as high as 76%, but I picked a lower number. I found another thing that said 40%, so we'll go with 40% just to be conservative. But 40% of their oil that they import comes through the Strait of Hormuz. 15% of their total crude oil usage is Iranian oil. 90% of all of Iran's oil exports are Chinese oil, are going to China. So of all the oil they sell and they make and they ship out, 90% of it goes to China, which is 40% of China's total oil imports into China is Iranian, and 15% of their total use of oil is Iranian oil. So this affects Iran. If they can't ship it out, they can't sell it. It hurts China. China's their primary their primary source of business. And yeah, it hurts Iran, it hurts other countries too. But in the end, we'll come out on top in that situation. It's a necessary thing that has to be done as quickly and as shortly as possible for a better outcome in the end. We've been fighting with Iran for a long time, 50 years, and eventually it's got to stop, and somebody's got to do it at some point. It has to happen. So what's better than now? No time like the present, right? Negotiations on Lebanon. Meanwhile, talks between Israeli and Lebanese diplomats are due to take place this week. Israeli attacks targeting Iran-backed Hezbollah continued overnight, resulting in deaths and injuries. We talked about how Lebanon is basically an arm of Iran posted on top of Israel. Right over top of Israel, they got Lebanon, the PLO there, Hezbollah there, right over top of Israel. Lebanon is basically just an offshoot of Iran. U.S. is doomed to fail any naval blockade, says Iranian military advisor. Senior military advisor to Iran's supreme leader said the United States is destined to fail in any naval blockade following President Donald Trump's threat to block the Strait of Hormuz. The United States, just as it suffered a historic defeat against Iran in attempting to open the Strait of Hormuz, is also doomed to fail in any naval blockade, said Mohsen Razeh, a former longtime commander-in-chief of the IRGC, who came out of retirement to serve Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. So they have a president and so what does the president do? Is he just like a figurehead? Because Khamenei's the supreme leader. So what's the point of the Iranian president? This is a different guy than Khamenei. What's up, Cameron? Here now, this is since the strait has been opened. Cairo. Trump says U.S. military has blockaded Iranian ports to pressure Tehran. Cairo. U.S. President Donald Trump said Monday that the American military had begun a blockade of Iranian ports as part of his effort to force Tehran to open the Strait of Hormuz and accept a deal to end the war that has raged for more than 6 weeks. Iran in the war. It's not even been declared a war, by the way. Iran responded with threats on all ports in the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman taking aim at U.S. allied countries. That set the stage for an extraordinary showdown that posed serious risks for the global economy and raised the specter that the ceasefire could collapse and the war could resume. Talks aimed at permanently ending the conflict, which began February 28th with U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran, failed to reach an agreement this past weekend. There's been no word on whether negotiations will resume. Trump says the blockade has begun. So, and I get it. You know, gas prices go up. People don't like it. But shit. At some point, we got to do something, right? We're going to suffer for a little while at the gas pumps. Here's what you do. You go get yourself a scooter, boy. You get yourself a scooter, and then you don't have to worry about gas prices no more. But I live too far from my job to get there on a scooter. Well, that's your fault. Get a bicycle. You know? Get a Tesla. Get you an electric car or something. Sucks. It's just what you got to do. Let's look at the Muslim news network, Al Jazeera. Tehran's toll booth. How Iran picks who to let through the Strait of Hormuz. So do you know there's only actually 4 miles of waterway? So it's a 30-mile stretch in the Strait of Hormuz. Most of it is too shallow for ships to get through. There's only a 6-mile section where there's actually shipping lanes where ships can pass through. And 2 miles of that, 2 miles is for incoming ships, 2 miles is for outgoing ships, 2 miles is a buffer zone in between the two. So 6 miles of travelable water. And really, they only need to cover, well, they have to cover the whole 6 miles, but, you know, it's, that section is all they have to block up to control the strait. So that's why they have those underwater mines. And in this process, what's going on? They're using up a lot of their mines. So they put the mines down. We detonate the mines. They're going to eventually run out of mines. They have a huge weapon stockpile, but we've already depleted somewhere between 33 and 50% of their armaments, including their mines, their underwater mines that they use to block the strait and control the strait. So, what's up, Abe? Fun fact, Keanu Reeves was born in Lebanon. That's crazy. So, we're depleting their stockpile of weapons, and eventually, they're not going to be able to stop us. Iran has blocked the passage of vessels carrying 20% of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas supplies. The de facto blockade of the Strait of Hormuz by Iran is in response to the United States-Israel war has caused one of the worst energy crises in decades, with experts warning of a looming global recession. We watched a YouTube video discussing why the Strait of Hormuz is so important. It's the most important waterway for the world, for transport of the world's energy. And the whole northern side of the Persian Gulf is controlled by Iran. And Iran controls the strait. We're in Bahrain, we're in Saudi Arabia, all the southern shores of the Persian Gulf. We have allies there. But if Iran controls the entrance and the exit, it doesn't matter. So that's a problem that we're addressing right now. The maritime route through which about 20% of global oil and gas supplies pass has been thrust into the spotlight as Tehran has used it as a geopolitical bargaining chip in the war. And everybody who's like, Trump's an idiot. He attacked Iran. What, he didn't expect them to close the Strait of Hormuz? Come on. Do you think all the people in our military and our government and our president are that dumb that they didn't think that they would close the strait if we attacked them? Of course we knew they would close the strait. That's where all their weapons is what's the word I'm looking for? Combined in that same spot. That's not the word. There was a better word. But all their weapons, their stockpile of weapons, are focused on that Strait of Hormuz. Of course, we knew they would block the strait if we attacked them. Maybe that's part of the plan. They'd say, Trump, here's what's going to happen. We're going to go to war in Iran. They're going to block the strait. It's going to hurt the whole world economically. All right. So everybody's going to take an L here. But we're going to take less of an L than our enemies. And then a lot of people will be okay. We'll survive this. America's going to hate you. They're going to think you're an idiot who didn't expect the strait to be blocked. But in the long run, we come out on top. Concentrated. That's what I was looking for. Concentrated on the strait. So I think we knew the strait would be closed. I think that was part of the plan. And anybody who thinks that we were just willy-nilly bombing Iran, we had no idea they would close the Strait of Hormuz. Dude, there's YouTube videos that have been talking about this for 20 years. So I found old YouTube videos talking about the Strait of Hormuz. So I don't think that this is unexpected. I think it's part of the plan. What the heck is that? Nearly 2,000 vessels are stranded close to the narrow strait, which is located between Iran on its north side and Oman and the United Arab Emirates on its south side. On Thursday, Iranian media reported that the country's parliament is seeking to pass legislation to collect tolls for ships transitioning the world's single most important oil passageway. The reports by Tasnim and Fars news agencies, quoting the chairman of Parliament's Civil Affairs Committee, said a draft law has been prepared and will soon be finalized by the Islamic Consultative Assembly's legal team. According to this plan, Iran must collect fees to ensure the security of ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. This is completely natural. Just as in other corridors, when goods pass through a country, duties are paid. The Strait of Hormuz is also a corridor which ensures its security, and it is natural for ships and tankers to pay us duties. Not when we helped set up their whole oil program and help build all the infrastructure for it. Same thing we did with Venezuela. In the 50s, we set all that stuff up for them because it benefits everybody. But then when you're being real jerks and you're in control of it, now you're hurting everybody. And we have to fix that. And everybody takes a L for a little while. The Strait of Pimpin'. Even without that domestic legal framework, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has already imposed a toll booth system to control vessel traffic through the strait, the shipping journal Lloyd's List reported on Wednesday. How are they doing this? The move has sent global oil prices soaring above $100 per barrel, a jump of roughly 40% from before the war, forcing countries, particularly in Asia, China, to ration fuel and cut industrial production. You see that? Particularly countries in Asia are rationing fuel now and cutting industrial production. This hurts China and Iran more than it hurts us. All we get is a bunch of Americans bitching about $4 a gallon of gas. Meanwhile, they can't even they have to shut down their industrial production. They rely on this oil. We don't. We don't need Iran's oil. This is not just about Iran. This is Trump sending a message to the world. He's playing them like a geopolitical chess game. He's moving the pieces. In one fell swoop, he's basically taken control of the entire world's economy. And he's showing the world, showing our enemies, that this is what happens when you let terrorists control the world's energy. We cannot have that. So I think this is all part of the plan. And I think it's going to work out good in the end because I trust my president. You know, I'll back him. Even if it looks crazy, looks like a bad idea. How often does it pan out that Trump was right? Pretty frequently. So have a little faith. Have a little faith in your president. Okay. They're saying that Iranian terrorists in America may be activated because of this, and we've seen a big jump in Middle Eastern crime. You know what's interesting? Remember the guys that threw the bombs in New York? Those guys were with ISIS. ISIS is Sunni. ISIS is actually an enemy of Iran. Iran is Shiite. ISIS, Al Qaeda, and I think the Taliban are all Sunni Muslims. They're not Shiite Muslims. They're not the same as Hezbollah, Hamas, PLO, Houthis, which are Iran-backed Shiite Muslims. They do all lead back to the same root, the same origin, the same belief system. Radical Islam. They all tie back to the same thing, but there is a separation there. And even though ISIS and Iran have always been like enemies, Al Qaeda has received funding from Iran. So that's Shiites providing funding for Sunnis, for Sunni Muslim terrorists. And it's not like the Sunnis are all just some peace-loving group. Everybody thinks like the Shiites are the bad ones and the Sunnis are good. ISIS is Sunni. So, and ISIS are the ones who threw the bombs in Times Square. ISIS are the terrorist cells. They found 2 different terrorist cells in the lead up to the 2024 election who were planning and plotting to assassinate Trump in America. Those were ISIS. But then I wonder, maybe they aren't ISIS. Maybe they're just doing that so that the blame goes on ISIS. So like when you see these guys throw these bombs and then they're going into the prison and they're doing this, which is like the ISIS symbol, and they say, "Why'd you do this?" And they say, "For ISIS." Maybe that's part of the plan to make it look like this is an ISIS thing, to disconnect it from Iran. And then Iran kills 2 birds in 1 stone. They get an attack on America, and then they get the retaliation against their enemy, ISIS. Or maybe they're not enemies anymore. Maybe they're working together now. You know, I don't know. But the point is, they're all bad groups. But so we're going to watch this about Iranian terrorists may be activated. And by the way, it's not like Hezbollah and Hamas and Houthis and PLO haven't done terrorist attacks, because they have too. They've attacked our embassies. They've taken Americans hostage for over a year. They've done all sorts of war crimes against us too. So it's time for some get back. Let's watch this about.
All right, DHS posting the mug
about terrorists. Hopefully this article is what I think it is. May get activated, chilling new warning of Iranian threat inside the U.S. Now, I think this starts out talking about the some woman, her kids came to America a long time ago, and I think they deported them. So I think it's going to talk about that first.
Shot of the son of a high-ranking Iranian official known as Screaming Mary. She worked as the...
Yeah, Screaming Mary, her sons have been living in America, and they got picked up. They got picked up here recently.
Spokeswoman for the terrorists behind the 1979 U.S. Embassy takeover, which included more than 50 Americans held hostage.
This is what I was just talking about. So there's multiple U.S. and Israeli embassy bombings by Hezbollah, but what started all this conflict was in the lead up to the Shah being overthrown by Khomeini in 79. They attacked an embassy, and they kept 52, I think it was 52 Americans hostage for over a year in the embassy. They just stuck in the embassy for a year. They couldn't leave. They took over our embassy for a year, and they held hostages. And that's when we knew Iran is not nice, not good people.
for 444 days. Secretary of State Marco Rubio writing on X, quote, "This week I terminated their lawful permanent resident status." And today, Saeed Asha Hashemi and Mariam Tamesabi and their son are now in custody of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, pending their removal from our country. Her family should never have been allowed to benefit from the extraordinary privilege of living in our country. Former DHS Deputy Assistant Secretary Jonathan Fahey joins me now. Jonathan.
Based. Is that kind of messed up? Like, these guys have been living in America for what, 40 years now? How long? How long have they been in America? 30, 40 years? And because of something their mom did 40 years later, and we get in a fight with Iran, has nothing to do with them. Nothing really to do with their mom. They get scooped up and deported. I don't care. No sweat off my back. It is kind of like, that sucks. What if these guys have totally changed and turned over a new leaf and become like great American patriots? And then just because we're at war with Iran, they come and scoop them up and ship them out? That's not very nice, but I'm not mad about it. I don't trust them. Get them out of here. Good job, Rubio.
This follows news that the niece and grandniece of Qasem Soleimani were living here. The daughter.
Oh, yeah, that too. So there's a bunch of these terrorist families were made citizens in America? Who let that happen? Who let the dogs out? Probably Obama. I don't know.
Of Ali Larijani, who is the de facto ruler of Iran, was living here and working as a professor. These two individuals were professors as well. And
oh, great. So we have terrorist children, enemy terrorist children teaching college kids in universities. Shocker. Who would have thought? Crazy. Why do you think that when Israel and Palestine are at war, they wear hadiths or whatever they call them, those headscarves, tefias, anyway, they wear the stupid Hamas headscarves, they wave the Hamas flags, and they protest in the colleges, and they set up encampments, and then they attack Jewish people on the college campuses. Why do you think that happens? Well, because we let terrorist children teach college kids. That's why.
Separately, there's an Iranian activist who spoke to the New York Post and said that she has been collecting evidence about these people living in the United States, benefiting from the U.S. and providing that information to the feds. And she says that there are thousands more Iranians with ties to the terrorist regime living in the U.S. And she goes on to say these people can be sleeper cells, and at the right time, they may get activated. They are.
Let's get active. They're activated. Thousands of Iranian terrorist sleeper cells. And you know what activates them? Anything that we do to Iran. Get them out. They got to go.
Really rooted in America, and that is why what the Department of Homeland Security or immigration is doing to deport these people is so valid.
Yeah, but we should abolish the Department of Homeland Security.
I mean, she lays it out there, but I'll ask you this question. How big of a threat are these people that we're just learning about now, living in the United States with deep ties to the Iranian regime? How big of a threat is this to all of us?
I think this should be taken very seriously, and it could be a very big threat, and we just don't even know. And that's the interesting thing about it, is how many other people that might not be sort of as well known or as easily identifiable in terms of being connected to the regime be in this country. And I think Secretary Rubio's point was such a great point in that it's an extraordinary benefit to be here. And why did we let people like this in here to begin with? Where was the vetting on that end? But yeah, on these national security.
Yeah, I'd like to see whose idea was that. Under whose presidency did these people come into the country?
And what he's doing is exactly right. Hopefully it deters others. But there is a concern, and it sort of brings us back to we need DHS open because we need to prevent something bad from happening rather than react to it if something bad does happen.
That's so true. And not just by executive order of the president to pay these important workers, but actually have the department fully open. There's another Iranian activist, Jonathan, who said they are here to influence policy, talking about these Iranians. They are here to steal technology, and that's a national security threat. We are incredibly happy to see the U.S. is finally deporting these regime thugs and sending them back to the very hell that they built for Iranian citizens. I mean, you asked the question, and I'll pose it to you again. Why were these people allowed to come to the United States in the first place?
This just really shows that, you know, I don't know the specifics of each one of these people, but where was our vetting and how are we vetting people that are loyal to the country? Because these are lawful permanent residents, meaning they're on track to...
And they're teaching kids in colleges. Of the 6 people they listed, 2 of them are college professors. That's crazy. Iranian terrorist children are teaching college students.
Get citizenship in the United States. And if you're going to do that, you should be loyal to the United States, not loyal to the Iranian regime or anywhere else. But yeah, it does show really a difference between the Trump policy and the prior policies of other administrations where the Trump policy is putting America first. And if you aren't loyal or if we don't know, you shouldn't come in. And that's the really scary thing about what's been going on the prior 4 years under the Biden administration, because so much of the people that are here, we just don't know, and that's the worst or the scariest part of it all.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. And, you know, it only makes common sense to take a closer look at this, especially given what's going on right now in the Middle East. So how difficult will it be? Are we being proactive about this in terms of looking at who's been given a green card, doing a real deep investigation into the Iranian Americans, or the Iranians rather, who are here in America right now, and figuring out if they have regime ties, and also people in other adversarial countries who are here?
It does seem like we're being proactive just because of these recent actions by Marco Rubio. And my guess is, or my supposition is, there are other people that aren't as high profile that the same thing may in fact be happening. But hopefully we are proactive on not just the Iranian regime.
Well, we saw the attack that was thwarted in, was that Boston? I think it was in Boston a couple months ago. We talked about how the DHS and FBI and CIA and everybody rolled up on this house where this guy had all the equipment and he was planning a bombing of a nightclub, and they got him and took him out before he could do it. I don't know if they killed him, but they got him. They stopped him because of our intel. This was a terrorist living in America, a sleeper cell, activated by the war, planning an attack. And we shut it down before it happened because of the intel by groups like the DHS. Currently, the DHS is still shuttered. So we have a problem.
Like you said, but other regimes that may be harmful to us. People need to go. And the most important part is let's stop people coming in that might harm us, because it's a lot harder to kick someone out than to say you can't come in. And I think that's one of the best things this administration's been doing.
Yeah, so far 3 families with ties to high-ranking Iranian officials, and in 2 of those families there were people working as college professors, which is another through line that should not be ignored. Former DHS Deputy Assistant Secretary...
Crazy. All right, before we move on to some pop culture news, some other interesting news, we're going to watch this. This is what I was talking about earlier. And this kind of leads into the debate that I'm having tomorrow. You know, I don't like doing screen shares during debates and playing videos and stuff like that. So I'll just play it here. And then when I reference it tomorrow in the debate, you guys will know that I'm not lying, and I'm sure Vigilante will take my word for it. But if he wants to see the video, then he can come watch this stream. But this is the Ayatollah Khomeini 7 years ago talking about the Death to America chant. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Allahu Akbar. Are they saying Allahu Akbar? God is the greatest. Khomeini is our leader. Death to America. The U.S. authorities complain and ask, why do Iranians say death to America? Let me make something clear for U.S. leaders. Death to America means death to Trump, John Bolton, and Mike Pompeo. It means death to American rulers. So this guy was directly calling for Trump's death, proudly announcing, when we all chant death to America, we mean death to Trump. Well, guess which one is alive right now and which one's not alive right now? I don't think you won this battle, Mr. Khomeini. We have no problems with the American people. Also, I think that's bullshit. They have problems with any Christians, any of the West. They hate the Western world. They call America the great Satan or the big Satan.
مرگ بر آمریکا یعنی مرگ بر شما چند تایی که اون گروهی که دارید اداره میکنید کشورتون رو. مراد اینه.
It's about the group of people who are currently in charge.
این دوره اینان، در دوره دیگر هم دیگران. بحث ملت آمریکا.
There will be others when the next term of office begins, and then we'll chant death to them as well.
ثانیاً تا وقتی که دولت آمریکا و رژیم آمریکا همین شرارت، همین
as long as America continues its wickedness,
دخالت، همین خباثت، همین رذالت رو در
the Iranian nation will not abandon death to America. As long as America continues its wickedness, the Iranian nation will not abandon death to America.
اعمال خودش داره، این مرگ بر آمریکا از دهان ملت ایران نخواهد افتاد. من توصیم
I recommend that one should not trust the Europeans just as the Americans, and definitely don't trust the Jews.
اینه که به اروپایی‌ها اعتماد نکن.
Their slogan, once Khomeini got in power, their slogan was never the West, never the East, or something like that, meaning they would never align with Russia and they would never align with Europe and America. And of course, they're Muslims, so they're never going to align with Israel, which is our ally. And I don't care how much people want to blame the Jews for everything and hate Israel and all that stuff. I'm not into it. I'll make fun of Jewish people and make jokes about Jewish stereotypes. Same way I'll make fun of black people, white people, Asian people, Irish people, Chinese. Ooh, you know, we make jokes and we'll make fun of all the stereotypes of all the races because it's just comedy. It's just being funny. But I don't hate Israel and I don't blame them for everything bad that's ever happened. I know that they do. If you go deep enough into any conspiracy theory, you always end up at one group of people. I get it, you know, but I don't hate Israel, and Israel is our ally. So even if you hate Israel, you need to acknowledge that that is our ally, and if one of our enemies does something to them, we fight with our allies. That's loyalty. So whether or not you like Israel doesn't matter. What matters is our enemies are attacking our allies. Maybe it's partially our allies' fault. But guess what? Your boy starts a fight at the bar, you get your boy's back, even if he's wrong for it.
در مورد آمریکا من از 2-3 سال پیش
My advice when we were in negotiations with the Americans 2 or 3 years ago
این بحث‌های مذاکرات
over the nuclear issue was that they cannot be trusted. See, they loved Obama's JCPOA. They loved the Iranian nuclear deal. If Obama said this stops them from ever having a way to get a nuke, then why did they like it so much? And why were they getting close to making nukes? If this was such a good plan, then how come when Trump ripped it up in 2019, the Khomeini hated it? He got mad because he loved the Iranian nuclear deal. No sanctions, no economic sanctions at all. We get to continue our enrichment program as long as we don't make nukes. Okay, sure. That sounds like a plan.
مربوط هسته‌ای برقرار بود دائما
I said this in private and in public forums during my speeches.
هم خصوصی به مسئولین میگفتم هم
I said they cannot be trusted in what they say and the promises they make.
در جلسات عمومی در سخنرانی ها مکرر گفتم من اعتمادی ندارم به اینا اعتماد نکنید به اینا اطمینان به هر
I even said don't trust when they smile. These people cannot be trusted in any way.
حرفشون به قولشون به امضاشون به
This sounds like hate speech.
لبخندشون اعتماد نکنید اینا مورد اعتماد نیستن.
Not even a single signature can be trusted.
خب حالا نتیجه این
We have now reached a point where our officials who were involved
شده که مسئولینی که اون روز مذاکره میکردن خودشون
in negotiations back then are now saying that the Americans cannot be trusted.
امروز دارن میگن آمریکا غیر
And don't trust Iran. Iran is asshole.
قابل اعتماده. از اول بایستی
They should have understood this issue of trust back then
این غیر قابل اعتماد بودن رو
and should have acted accordingly back then.
تشخیص میدادن حرکت میکردن. امروز هم دارم راجع به اروپا
No, it's a similar situation with the Europeans.
میگم غیر قابل
They also cannot be trusted.
اعتمادن. نمیگم درباره
We don't say we have contacts with them.
مسائل مورد ابتلا و اینها ارتباط نداشته باشه.
We need to, as a government, to have contacts and relations, but it's an issue of trust.
نه بالاخره ما دولتی هستیم حکومتی هستیم الحمدلله مقتدریم توانایی داریم. بحث در این نیست. بحث در این است
You must look at the Europeans from a pessimist's point of view.
که به اینها با چشم بدبینی نگاه کنید. اینها به هیچی پابند نیستن.
And that's from Global News. So that's 7 years ago. The late Khomeini talking about why they chant death to America. So there you go. There's that. That guy's dead. Eat it. Ain't no sense praying for him no more. He gone. Beta. That's right. But that's it for all the Trump dates and Iran stuff going on. Let's move on to some more light news, you know, some lighter stuff instead of talking about war constantly. Let's move on to something, you know, lighter. How's our boy Ye doing? How's Ye doing? Yeah. How's our boy Ye doing? Well, Ye sold out 2 concerts in LA, making himself $33 million. And he did his apology tour for all the anti-Semitic stuff he said. And he made $33 million for 2 sold-out shows in Los Angeles. Over the weekend, Ye performed 2 shows at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, and earned $33 million, according to Bloomberg. This comes after multiple companies who did business with him distanced themselves from him following his public outbursts on social media, anti-Semitic posts on social media, and a song that glorified Adolf Hitler. They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. All my... what do we say? All my ninjas, awesome ninja. Hallelujah. All my ninjas, awesome ninja. Hallelujah. His show on Friday got over 18 million in ticket sales, according to the people close to Ye. That's crazy. How much were the tickets that you could fit $18 million off of tickets? How many people fit in like a big arena? It's expensive tickets. Ye is destroying the business regularly. What's up? The Phil a Blunt. During Ye's second show, he brought special performers to perform, including rappers Lauryn Hill, Travis Scott, and CeeLo Green. I'm surprised that... See, it doesn't matter. You could say the craziest thing. If you're a celebrity, all it takes is one hit and people forget. You sell out a concert, you know, all these people that like turned on Ye or said, I would never work with Ye. And he says, ha, we got a show. You coming out? Lauryn Hill's like, yeah. CeeLo's like, definitely. Travis Scott, uh-huh. We're definitely pulling up to the concert, Ye. His wife, Bianca Censori, was also at the concert. I wonder if she was naked. She's always naked. Bloomberg also reported that his new album titled Bully is one of the best-selling albums following its debut. Following Ye's shows, other brands distanced themselves from Ye, including Pepsi and Rockstar Energy. United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer recently said he was concerned that Ye was scheduled to perform in London due to his history of anti-Semitism. So that's the other news that we'll get to in a second. First, let's watch this. Let's watch this video real quick. I watched this video this morning and I was looking for anybody that had like one of his Swazi shirts, but I guess they all got the new Star merch. They don't have the speaking of Keir Starmer, Ye's got Star merch. Star merch. Star merch.
I'm super excited to see him. I've been listening since I was like in like 8th grade, and I don't know, I mean, he's a really great artist, so many like hits, and we came here early to like, I don't know, really like let it set in.
Two type of Kanye fans, the one who just loves his music and the one who idolizes him. I was the latter for my, like when I first became a fan of him. I had like a TikTok fan page with like, I think like a couple of thousand followers, and yeah, but then recently in like last year when he started going crazy on Twitter again, and like posted all those songs like Hail Hitler, I kind of stopped like saying this guy's not the greatest person, but he does have such a great music. He did apologize, so it makes me feel least better by going to the concert
Least
tonight.
better.
So yeah,
It makes me feel least better because he apologized.
yeah, I'm very excited to see him in the floor. It's just a lifelong dream of mine to be in the floor for Kanye.
So, Ye sold out concert marks comeback with Lauryn Hill. But then I think he got banned. I don't know if he got banned from the UK. On Piers Morgan, they were saying he's banned from traveling to the UK. Our young men are so feminist. Yeah, feminine. He is good. He's doing it independently. I admire and look how to keep people from impeding on what I do. I'm not sure if he's banned from the UK, but his UK concert this summer has been canceled. Sponsors pull out a festival headlined by Ye on the heels of sold out SoFi Stadium shows. Major sponsors have pulled out of a music festival in England set to be headlined by Ye. So this is earlier. Now this show in England has been canceled, is what we're going to be talking about here in a second. The artist formerly known as Kanye West, Ye, who recently performed a pair of sold-out shows at SoFi Stadium, is scheduled to perform 3 shows in July at London's Finsbury Park as part of the annual Wireless Festival. The concerts will follow Ye's shows last week at Inglewood SoFi Stadium, where he began an attempted comeback after years of controversy related to his anti-Semitic comments. Yet Pepsi said over the weekend that it had decided to withdraw its sponsorship of Wireless, according to CNN, which said the beverage company Diageo has also pulled out. Earlier, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer issued a statement saying it was deeply concerning that Ye had been booked to perform at the festival given his previous celebration of Nazism. In January, the rapper placed a full-page ad in Wall Street Journal apologizing for his behavior, which included a declaration of love for Adolf Hitler. Apologizing for his behavior, so that's the behavior that he was apologizing for. Ye attributed his words and actions to the bipolar disorder he says he developed from injuries he sustained in a 2002 car crash. Ye released a new album, Bully, last month that came out last month. I thought that came out many, many months ago. I thought Bully's been out for a while. Just debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 chart. At SoFi, he brought out surprise guests, including Lauryn Hill, Travis Scott, Don Toliver, CeeLo Green, and Ye's 12-year-old daughter, Northwest. Northwest. That's crazy. Dude, if my last name was West, I'd have to name my kid North, East, South. Gotta do it. You gotta do it. But so the festival was canceled. Is BBC gonna let me read this? This summer's wireless festival has been canceled after headliner Kanye West was blocked from coming to the UK. So yeah, he got blocked from coming to the UK, so they canceled the entire festival. Ye was like the headliner. He's not coming. They canceled the entire festival. All the sponsors pulled out. So if the sponsors already pulled out, then you block him from coming. Now you just lost your whole festival. Now you're not even having your festival. Didn't chop our nuts off. What the heck? The government refused permission for West, now known as Ye, to travel to the UK after backlash to his plans set at the London Festival this summer. For the last several years, West has caused outrage for a string of anti-Semitic, racist, and pro-Nazi comments. Racist! In a statement, Wireless Festival said it was canceled and refunds would be issued to all ticket holders. It added that multiple stakeholders had been consulted ahead of booking West, and no concerns were highlighted at the time. It continued, anti-Semitism in all its forms is abhorrent, and we recognize the real and personal impact these issues have had. As Ye said today, he acknowledges that words alone are not enough, and in spite of this, still hopes to be given an opportunity to begin a conversation with the Jewish community in the UK. But he can't even go to the UK. He can't even show up in the UK.
The rapper formerly known as Kanye West has been barred from entering the UK, where he was scheduled to perform at the Wireless
Let's watch this from AP.
Festival in July. Government officials condemned Ye's history of anti-Semitic remarks. The festival's organisers confirmed the ban and said the entire 3-day festival was being cancelled as a result, and refunds will be issued to all ticket holders. Ye's travel authorisation had been blocked on the grounds that the performer's presence in the UK would not be conducive to the public good, the BBC said, citing the Home Office. Ye was booked to perform in front of around 150,000 revellers in July at the open-air festival in London's Finsbury Park. Festival organisers had been under mounting pressure from sponsors and politicians to cancel the gigs by the rapper, who has drawn widespread condemnation for making anti-Semitic remarks and voicing admiration
This is all just kind of repeating the same
for
stuff.
Adolf Hitler. He apologised, attributing his actions to bipolar disorder.
Nice. So he makes $33 million in 2 shows. Then he gets banned from the UK. Crazy. Crazy. But I mean, you get locked up in the UK for making a tweet about Muslims. So it's not I'm not surprised that they banned him from coming and doing the show. He can't even go into the UK. That's crazy. But so that's the deal with Ye. We got one last main story news here. So you guys know I love Sav Hernandez. Sav says Savannah Hernandez. Love that girl. She's amazing. I'm simping, but if I'm allowed to simp for 3 women, she's one of them. Well, she got jumped and attacked by Antifa. There's one primary attacker, and it's this girl who we're going to see in the video here. Attacks her, pushes her, blows a whistle in her face. Protesters are waving dildos in her face and smacking her with dildos. This girl's blowing whistles in her ear. Sav pushes the whistle away like this, and she says, "Don't touch me, bitch." And she starts grabbing her and roughing up with her. So Savannah starts trying to leave. This girl comes, hits her. Savannah hits back. Dude, Savannah was getting savage. She was that Mexican in her, or that Latina in her, was coming out. She was getting dangerous. And then they shove her a couple times, shove her into a fence. She's walking out of the crowd. She throws a quick punch shove at the girl who is the main person attacking her. But there's a bunch of people. They're all pushing her and waving dildos in her face and blowing whistles in her ear. Sav pushes the one girl, and then as she's walking away, this girl's dad, who we're going to look at who he is because he actually worked with Tim Walz on the Tim Walz campaign, and he's a Democrat activist who was at this protest, and he's worked with politicians before. This guy runs up and shoves the shit from behind, shoves the crap out of Sav. Sav is she looked Asian, but she's actually Hispanic. Hernandez. She's Latina. She's a little girl. And this big-ass fat loser walks up and shoves the crap out of her from behind and says, "Don't ever touch my daughter. Don't ever touch my daughter again." This pussy, dude. Oh my gosh, I wish I was there. I would have white knighted for my girl Sav. I would have walked up to that dude. Bah! Don't ever touch my girl like that. How dare you? But she didn't have no security. She works for TPUSA. She's high profile enough that you'd think she'd have some security there, but she didn't have no security. And this crazy bitch is attacking her. And then her dad attacks Sav too. Big tough guy. You shoved a little girl from behind like a pussy bitch. Somebody needed to rock that dude in his jaw. And nobody was there to do it, which sucks. But turns out he's on camera doing it. His face is there in 4K. And this guy was part of Mike Waltz's vice presidential run, his campaign. So we're gonna watch it. We got a bunch of views, I think. We'll check out X. There's a bunch of different angles of this, but it's pretty crazy. Sorry for the whistles in your ear. It's gonna get pretty bad. But here we go. Let's watch this. So this is the girl right here. This is the main problem. And apparently her dad is the guy that we're going to be talking about, because the combat that happens between Sav and this girl is the what's the word I'm looking for? The initiator, or the aggravator, the problem here. But her dad needs to go to jail too, because what her dad does is worse. But let's watch this. And is this gonna have actual Justice Warriors commentary? So the girl's blowing a whistle in her ear. She puts her hand out and kind of pushes her face away. Now they'll say that's the first assault, but blowing a whistle directly in somebody's ear as loud as you can, right up on them, that's assault too. So the aggressor, thank you. She is just defending herself. She's just putting her hand up and she's pushing her away. The girl's in her ear blowing a whistle. But they're going to say this is the reason that they attacked Sav, is because she pushed this girl's face away and knocked her whistle out of her mouth. She's going to turn. She's going to try to start leaving. See, this lady's got a dildo in her hands. Multiple of these people came with dildos. I don't know if that's their weapon of choice. Like when they're on the character select screen and it's like pick your weapon, they choose dildos. But these people are mentally unstable. I think most of them probably should be like locked up in some sort of facility somewhere.
So that right there was the opening clip, the opening salvo. If you
Okay. Sorry, actual just word. This guy is important.
By multiple people, including this guy right here, who, by the way, it looks absolutely terrible but accurate in this screenshot, who decided that he was going to push Savannah Hernandez from behind. Now, I know Savannah. Savannah is a friend of the...
And maybe this is fake news about the guy being on Mike Waltz's campaign, but that's what X is saying. So that could be fake news. He could just be some random crazy guy. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm believing fake news. So I'm just going to preface that. If he's not actually in any sort of political position or anything like that, I could be wrong about that. But that's what I read on X. I'll show you in a bit. But
channel. I like Savannah. I have met her multiple different times, and I could tell into a physical fight with her. But apparently...
Oh, did they cut it out?
This guy, this absolute scumbag in every possible way, who, by the way, despite the fact that he's caught in 4K assaulting Savannah Hernandez, is making the case that he never touched her, apparently needed to get her from...
It's multiple video angles.
From behind when she wasn't looking, blindside the girl. About protecting the minorities, they're all about protecting the women's, they're all about feminism and all that other stuff. However, when a reporter comes to actually document what they're doing, and that reporter has a different opinion than...
Sorry, I'm trying to find... I had other videos. Oh, New York Post is now reporting on it 5 hours ago.
Let me show you 5 things no other EQ can...
I just want to find the full video. See, that's assault. That leaning in, blowing a whistle as hard as you can directly in somebody's ear, that's assault. When she pushes her face away, that's not the assault. That's where it gets crazy. So Sav does push her away after she's been following her and on her, blowing a whistle in her face and shoving her and pushing into her. Sav did push her back. Then this girl shoves Sav into the fence. And she just pushed that person's face away. That guy's wearing a wig. And here comes fat ass. Here comes this fat beta male loser.
Beta!
That deserves to get his jaw broken. This guy in the green shirt. This guy in the green shirt right here, he's got to be a paid protester. He's this weird gay guy. He's in so many YouTube videos. Danny Mullen did a video where he hung out with this guy all day years ago. This guy right here, I've seen him in probably 30 different YouTube videos. He's always at these protests. He'll be in videos in New York. He'll be at the protest. He'll be at protests in Chicago. He'll be at protests in LA. He'll be at protests in Portland. I don't know how he's getting around all these things, but he's always in the YouTube videos. Him and also the cowboy hat guy. Tons of videos that I've seen. They're in them.
I know, just go though. Look, we're trying to help. Get you out of here. Trying to leave. Let's go. Let's get you out of here. Let's go. Where are you going?
That's a man.
Where do you need to go?
I don't have a car here. Where do you want me to go?
Jared, can we get her somewhere? I try to help you though. Like we helped
No,
you.
you didn't.
Yes, we did. We stopped people from hitting you because you were
I was standing here for an hour.
If we didn't help you, you would have been
and
attacked.
started attacking me.
We told them to stop.
I didn't.
Okay, well, those are the people on your side, dumbass. Why don't you say something to the crazy people on your team who are doing this? Instead of being, yeah, you helped her get out of the mess, but your people are the one who caused the problem. Why don't you say anything to them? Retard.
I didn't do anything.
Look, you're like trying to play victim so hard when you were literally.
Okay, so I've all
Trying to play victim? She just got attacked by multiple people repeatedly.
this on camera. It's fine. And because we're Minneapolis, you can't press charges against.
That is Minneapolis. Okay, yeah, it's Minneapolis. So that gay guy, the cowboy hat guy, they're always out there.
Any of these people either. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. There we go, guys. There we go. Minneapolis, incredible. What am I gonna do?
Is she being detained at this time? Oh, is this the girl talking about it?
I was the girl that literally just got f***ing assaulted by a f***ing piece of shit Turning Point bitch.
God, put this retarded bitch in jail. And her dad. I don't even think that's really her dad.
And first of all...
Oh, yeah, it says Minnesota Angry Man. Minnesota Angry Man.
Her f***ing ID is expired. 2023 is when it expired. And second of all, I got released. They're gonna like do investigation and all that for video, but I need everybody to send their video that they got of her.
Yes, please send all the videos. We have all the videos from multiple different angles. You were assaulting her. She used the back of her hand to push your face out of her ear, pushed you like this, and then you attacked her, and she fought back. Multiple people attacked her.
Assaulting me first.
So this is an Instagram video that was collected by the I Meme Therefore I Am account. They will be linked in full in the description. And this is the daughter that initiated the physical assault against Savannah Hernandez. And of course, this was after she was blowing the whistle directly in Savannah's ear, again, trying to set Savannah off during this particular altercation.
And Savannah wasn't like, she wasn't doing like what I do when I go to protest. She wasn't wearing a Trump hat and being like, you're all retards. What are you going to do? You're not going to do nothing. You're cowards. You're lame. Savannah wasn't doing that. When Savannah does this stuff, when she doesn't have security, she's usually just recording and talking to her stream. She doesn't do a lot of street interviews or, you know, street debates or trolling. She's just there to get footage and to cover it. She just stands there and gets footage. She was just standing at the fence recording. But she's high profile. And especially when you start with TPUSA and TPUSA puts out all these things that say, welcome our new member of TPUSA. If I go to Google and I type Savannah Hernandez and we go to images, what you see here, TPUSA welcomes new contributor, you know, new contributor, Savannah Hernandez. So they announce it. They do a whole campaign about, you know, Savannah Hernandez is a new contributor, and then everybody recognizes her. God, I love Savannah. Sorry, I need to calm down. I need to calm down. Okay. Okay, is this
You fucking touched me! Jesus Christ! Leave me! I'm trying to leave!
This is not the good angle. Okay, apparently Chris. Oh yeah, he is. He was on a news show. Apparently Chris Ostrushko is also a Minneapolis fraudster and was convicted of defrauding the state unemployment program back in the early 2000s. Only on Crime Watch, Birdcage Liner's latest fallen hero, soccer dad, anti-ICE protester Chris Ostrushko who assaulted Savannah Hernandez out at Whipple over the weekend, was convicted of defrauding the state unemployment program of nearly $7,000 in the early 2000s. Heartbreaking statements from Desiree Ostrushko, the estranged daughter of Chris and Deanna Ostrushko, the violent couple who attacked me alongside their daughter Paige. She states that she's Chris's second daughter, and she's seen and experienced enough firsthand to know the kind of actions they're capable of. This is honestly horrifying to read after how violent her father, mother, and sister acted publicly. I can't imagine what she's had to deal with privately. She goes on to say that she's chosen to distance herself from her family and that she does not agree or align with him at all. I'm his second daughter, and I've experienced firsthand how he's publicly and personally put me down simply because I don't align with their beliefs. That's a big part of why I've chosen to distance myself from them, watching situations like this. So even his own daughter says that it's true. So says that he's a crazy POS.
I need everybody to get the word out to go to Hennepin County Jail and help him get out because he was assaulted.
Oh, he's in jail. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. I'll be right back, guys. 1 second. I need more coffee. Sorry about that. He's a blobfish. He does look like the blobfish. He looks just like a blobfish. I'm so glad her dad's in jail.
And unlawfully arrested for no reason for protecting his girlfriend. Please send videos. Please.
Couple of things about this particular video. First and foremost, obviously we have somebody playing the victim saying that she was assaulted by Savannah Hernandez. Savannah Hernandez actually attacked the mob. I don't know if you guys know that. I don't know if you guys are aware of that because, you know, today is opposite day, I guess. And also you'll notice that she appears to have the same exact face as the Minnesota
Check. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It like. Anyway, I know. I fixed it. Thank you for telling me. But look at this. Rome, he is the blobfish. Perfect call. That's crazy. This is what the blobfish looks like. This is if you take it out of the water too fast, it loses pressure and it just melts. But anyway, they're literally the same guy. Big old stinky blobfish.
Angry Man, the man who assaulted Savannah Hernandez.
And his name on social media is Minnesota Angry Man.
Hernandez, the one who pushed her from behind, the most cowardly of all the cowards in this particular action, and this appears to be because she's actually Minnesota angry.
And the girl actually, like, you know, she was kind of scrapping with Sav for a little bit. I need to find the other camera angle.
Angry man's daughter. So this woman, her mother, and her father are playing the victim, even though, again, they are caught in 4K attacking Savannah Hernandez. And by the way, you can actually see in the video clips for yourself that Savannah actually puts her hands up before she is pushed by this woman in order to de-escalate the situation while she's simultaneously holding her phone.
And while she's walking away, look, she's saying, back up, back up. YouTube is making me redact all contact vid. Oh, so because of YouTube, we can't show the shove? That's stupid, dude. Okay, so this guy right here, cowboy hat guy, he's been to jail. He's been arrested. He's attacked people at protests. All these videos at this Minnesota ICE facility, he's always there. He's just there all day, every day. And he's had multiple stories relating to him. He's always there. It's crazy. The gay guy, he's always there. These people, it's like, they got to be paid.
Now,
okay, so for some reason, he's saying YouTube is making him redact all this stuff. I think it's because it's a video, but if I do it live, I think I could probably show somebody getting pushed live. But it's just going to make it not safe for monetization, which is why we're supported by viewers like you and Super Chats, because I ain't going to get no ad revenue for this. But
look, I have to make redactions in this particular video due to YouTube's terms of service, but the entirety of the clips that I'm using are going to be linked in full in the description under where it says sources. Stop telling me you can't find them, by the way. Don't be lazy. Just look in the description and check it out for yourself, because you can see clearly and obviously that this is an unambiguous assault on Savannah, and this woman...
The worst is when the guy pushes her. I mean, he comes up behind her, and she's totally unexpected. She's looking at other people, trying to tell them to back up, leaving. This guy comes up, this big ass blobfish comes up full force and just shoves the shit out of her. She goes flying.
Playing the victim, her dad playing the victim, are absurd in every possible way. And again, this doesn't even get into her rather large mother getting in Savannah's face prior to the father pushing Savannah from behind.
Yo, it's right. Yo, it's over. It's over. It's over.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Now, these three individuals have been identified by Savannah Hernandez as Paige Dayana and Chris Ostroshusko. I don't even know how to pronounce that, guys. I apologize. And
I had a video. I don't know where it went, but this guy was on a podcast recently, and he was talking about this stuff. Look at them all. Whole family of losers. Whole family of retard losers. Typical leftist attacking from behind.
As you could see by these individuals' faces, they are unhinged and ridiculous. And in fact, the father, the guy who pushed Savannah Hernandez from behind, was actually featured on a little episode podcast thing.
Here you go.
And this video is available on Instagram of Tim Miller, where he's talking about how important it is to stand up for what is right, because again, these people that attack women in the streets, this guy who had to do so from behind, who had to blindside her because he's that much of a weak bitch, decided that he needs to be the hero of the world, sees himself as this grand savior of all the different minorities and illegal aliens.
You said resonated with people because it was raw and real, and we are pissed.
And this is the guy this is Destiny's buddy right here. Another loser.
Work in the goddamn morning, just like everybody else. I'm just here trying to stand up for community, dude. We're all human beings here. I don't give a who you are, where you came from, what color you are. It doesn't matter. This is wrong.
Yeah, it's going to take the everyday average American to stand up for this to happen.
This is all I see. This is all I see.
Happen, and I think that would be their biggest fear, is that more people come out of the suburbs to try to help out. It's not like the whole state of Minnesota is on fire. It's just certain areas. But once you insert yourself into it, you start to see what's really going on out there. And it's wrong. Whether you live where I live or whether you live right in the middle of it, it's wrong, no matter what. You know, this is a humanitarian thing as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah, you're a real humanitarian. You're a humanitarian. You pushed a minority woman by herself.
It's not about...
I hope you get toned up in jail.
Right or left anymore. It's not political at all. It's 100% about right and wrong. You have to have some morals, you know.
Oh yeah, you're a
You have to
moral
have some
guy.
conviction of some sort.
You're a real moral guy, you fucking loser.
So that's why I'm out there.
And it's absolutely embarrassing in every possible way that this guy is now cowardly trying to pretend that he's the victim in this scenario, even though, again, he is on video attacking Savannah from behind. But then Savannah ends up, it appears to be, at least it sounds like...
See, this is after the shove. She's on the ground. He runs up behind her and just slams her. And even though he's a pussy, he's a big guy, and she's a little girl.
Maybe clocking this dumb broad, we will call her, in the face. And again, I can't show you that. I can't actually present that video to you guys out there in the audience. But this is after Savannah's been assaulted at least by 3 individuals. And of course, the response to this is for multiple of these cowards to jump on her, to attack her again. And again, these are the people that are playing the victim, of the people that assaulted Savannah repeatedly, that mobbed up and surrounded her and attacked her because Savannah dared to cover.
And by the way, that's terrorism. I know people would be like, the lefties would be like, oh, what? She got pushed and now you're saying it's terrorism? Wow, you snowflake. No, by definition, you people are anti-fascist. You're Antifa. That's a terrorist group. You're using fear and force as a means to oppress political or religious ideas. That's terrorism. You live in America. You're American. That's domestic terrorism.
The ridiculously stupid protests, because again, illegal aliens matter more than anything, and Savannah Hernandez happens to be an American citizen, so she must be the enemy. Again, unless you're willing to sacrifice yourself for these illegal aliens, a la those 2 individuals who got killed at ICE riots or anti-ICE riots in Minnesota, then guess what? You in no way, shape, or form have any right to say anything about anything, and therefore you must be made to suffer.
Okay, and then this is when the cops get the they get him.
Now look, there are arrests.
They pepper sprayed the girl. They
being made in this supposed clash, in this alleged assault that is caught on video from like 25 angles in 4K, that maybe potentially, according to the mainstream media, might have occurred after Savannah Hernandez, I guess, fought the entire crowd off camera before this, thus justifying this self-defense. But it's very important to understand that this actually occurred in Hennepin County. Hennepin County is covered by Mary Moriarty, the district attorney or state's attorney or county attorney.
Oh, I'm sure she's a piece of work. I'm sure nothing's going to come of this to these people. They're going to get bonded out and released. And no pepper spray, no tasers, no security with guns. I know it's a protest, but precautions are precautions. Pepper spray. And yeah, she should have had security with her. And some pepper spray. I don't think she should have walked up in there with a gun. The same way Alex Preddy shouldn't have went to a protest with a gun. I don't think. I know it's America. We have our right to have our weapons and stuff, but if you're going to go into a situation where you know something like this might happen and you bring a gun, you're just asking for problems. Because they're not going to take, in this county, they're not going to take your side. They're not going to take Sav's side. They're going to take these people's side. Maybe Sav won't get arrested. She didn't get arrested for this, but these people aren't going to be held accountable. They're going to be back at a protest in a week.
attorney, whatever they call it in that particular area, and she happens to be a woke Soros-funded district attorney who doesn't prosecute anyone for anything. And the reason that I bring this up is because we had an instance of an assault of a woman named Savannah in New York City. We talked about this. It was in the borough of Manhattan, where she was punched in the face on camera, caught in 4K. And guess what? Even though that woman was charged with assault,
to be fair, I watch a lot of her videos. That Savannah. But sometimes she's asking for it. Like, she gets very very lippy, very snappy with people, and I'm like, damn. I'm kind of not surprised she got punched in the face. Not saying she deserved it or it's justified. I'm just saying the way she interviews people, I'm not surprised it happened.
As it was shown to us on the video, District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office just happened to miss a deadline in order to file the appropriate things in order to continue that case, and those charges were dropped despite the fact that it was caught on video. And the reason for this, again, supposedly
okay, that makes sense,
accidental thing, in my opinion, is because
we already played this. I wish I could get the video from the other angle. College girl ruined her future at protest. What's Angela saying about this? We can't watch a 25-minute video on this. Let me see. I'm trying to find the other angle. This is her view. There's a guy that like walks her out, and I'm trying to get his angle. I don't remember where I found it, but I was watching it earlier. Okay, this is not her view.
Ladies and gentlemen, twice yearly prep.
Let's see this. So this is the other angle. There's tons of angles of this. Look at this lady smacking her in the face with a dildo. A dildo. Smacking her up with a dildo. That's assault. That's sexual assault. Smacking her in the face with a dildo. Then this girl comes up behind her and grabs her. Hold on, let's see that again. Okay. The girl is pushing her and shoving her. Savannah pushes her back and throws a punch. Now, this is after the whole whistle situation and the pushing and stuff. So this is not actually the first assault, but Savannah does, throw a quick little jab right here. Actually, it's more like the girl grabs her arm and she tries to push her off her, and then she hits her. Girl goes down, girl hits her, shoves her into a fence.
Yeah, 100% battery and assault. And by the way, her blowing the whistle right in her ear while she's surrounded by a bunch of people yelling at her, that is also assault. That could even be battery on its own because it's intent to harm her ears. And it could also be harassment. Okay, so numerous laws being broken.
And the dildo smacking her in the face, that's sexual assault.
Let me play the rest of it so you can see how everything unfolded. By the way, take note that the woke farmer is right there.
That's the woke farmer. That's the cowboy hat guy. This guy's been to jail multiple times for stuff he's done at protests, attacking people, threatening Trump, things like that. The woke farmer. What a gay name.
Yo, it's right. Yo, it's over. It's over. It's over.
You dropped your dildo. Pick it up, retard. That's the one. That's the one. Just out. You fucking touched my daughter. Launched her.
Over.
Oh man, if I met this guy. Oh my God, I would love to meet this guy with his gay ass purse.
Now that right there is definitely battery. There's no justification for that, and he should be locked up for that, 100%. Now the daughter.
Now Savannah rocked her because the girl, she's getting up and the girl pushes her again. Savannah gets up and pops her one. That's that Hispanic. That's that Latina, baby. Now they're all mobbing her. Now she's got 4 people jumping her.
Attacking her.
Guys, it's over.
A family outing. A day with the family. Let's go attack a little Hispanic girl.
Over. Back the fuck up. It's over.
And apparently that guy is also the father. This guy is a content creator. His name is Angry Man. But clearly you can see he loves to direct his anger at beating women. Defenseless women, by the way.
Dude, we love you.
Latina women. Small Latina ladies.
Love you. We love you.
No, we don't.
But you love the immigrants.
Don't.
You love the women. You're a feminist. You support minorities. You just assaulted a minority woman.
Y'all love women beaters. We don't.
Hey, let's get you out of here.
Yeah.
Let's get you out of here. I know. Let's go. Where did you?
They all have dildos. Like multiple of them have dildos.
Where are you going? Where do you need to go? Derek, can we get her somewhere? We'll get you to safety. You're not going to be hurt. Come with us.
She's fixing her hair. She knows this is going viral.
Where's your? Well, no. Yo, I'm rescuing you. Stop fucking yelling at me, you fucking idiot. Okay?
You hear these guys? Like saving her is doing her a favor.
No, you're making her leave. You're effectively kidnapping her right now. You're chasing her out of a public area. She has every right to be there, the same way you have every right to be there. You attack her, and now this mob who says, we're protecting you, we're saving you. No, you're not. You're kidnapping her. You're forcing her to leave the area, and you're walking with her to another area. You're controlling her movement. You're not allowing her to move freely. All these people are kidnapping. Yeah, she's going to shake his hand at the end. She's going to say thank you. Because they are kind of, they're keeping her safe and stuff. But you are effectively controlling her movement and making her go somewhere where she doesn't want to go. She should be allowed to stand at the fence and record.
You hear these idiots? I can't stand these people, man. I cannot stand them at all. His side just viciously beat this woman. And he thinks that, he's taking one for the team trying to save her. As humans, it should just be human decency to want to save a woman that's getting attacked by an angry mob. She didn't do anything. All she does is have her phone. She was just speaking, and that was enough to get these people to attack her violently. All right. Now, this is a father, a mother, and a daughter. The daughter's the one that sparked this whole thing off. The mother, crazy liberal white bitch. She said, "Get your hands off my daughter. Don't hit my daughter." And she thought it was okay to assault her. And then the father, who just loves attacking women, came out of nowhere when she was going away. There's no reason to attack her, first of all, but definitely not to attack her when she's facing the other way and leaving. Why would he do that? Because this is what rabid liberal beta.
Oh, you a fucking idiot for yelling at the person who's rescuing you. Come with us.
Yeah, come with us. I know you.
There's gay green sweater guy.
You just got beat up by a bunch of people, but come with us. I need to take credit for saving you. Man, fuck you. I can't stand these liberal guys, man.
We're getting her out of here. We're getting her. Yeah, we're getting her out of here.
These weirdos.
That guy's got a dildo tied to his belt.
Those with their dildos.
Yo, you got to ride. Let's get you out of here. You gotta ride.
So why are you following her? Look, the guy recording is not doing anything for anybody. He's not doing it. You saw the whole video. Okay,
yeah, you're not helping her. You just want her out. You're effectively helping get her out of there. Take her out of there.
And he's like standing back and saying, "Hey, stop hitting her," or whatever he said, right? That's all he did. And now he wants the golden ward for this. He need to changed up.
Trying to get her out of here safely.
Nobody started beating you up.
Yeah. Nobody's attacking you, and there's literally a guy screaming at her right in front of two sheriffs.
Yo, we have her name. She'll get.
We don't hate these people enough.
Are you taking the ride or not?
Bro, you're done. Okay, we get it. You hate her. You hate women. You hate women. Look at the woke farmer. He was over here saying, I was trying to help you too. I told him not to attack you. So I deserve a gold medal too. I hate these men. I can't even call them men. I hate these males. These beta males. These weird creatures. I hate it's so many bad things waiting.
But I think that's all of it. But she ends up shaking that guy's hand at the end. But let's see what she said on Fox, and then we're going to wrap this up.
Escalated because they found out that I work for Turning Point USA. This isn't the first time that I have been confronted and assaulted at this point for journalism on the streets of the United States of America, but since Charlie Kirk's assassination, this is now the third time that people have come up to me after I have not been interviewing, not been engaging, but simply being on the street and filming a protest, figured out I work for Turning Point USA, and have made a point to confront me, to threaten me, to harass me, and now brutally assault me to prove a point. So that's why this escalated, Laura. I wasn't interviewing anybody. I wasn't engaging with anybody. I was, and I apologize. This is the first time I'm talking about this assault, and I,
Dude, she wasn't even crying at the thing. She's a tough girl. I've never seen Sav get emotional like this. She wasn't even crying while it was happening.
I'm scared to report, Laura. This is my job. It's what I've been doing for the last 6 years.
Yep.
And I'm terrified to do my job. I can't even interview people properly on the street because I got brutally assaulted and pushed to the ground by a 250-pound man for simply going and reporting on anti-ICE activities. I made a point not to engage, Laura, because I know the left wing is violent. They assassinated Charlie Kirk last year, and now they're coming for each and every single Turning Point US.
And this is why this whole Candace Owens bullshit narrative about, oh, it's all Israel and it's all a big scheme, it's all a big plot, that's why Charlie Kirk was assassinated. No. Y'all are taking people away from the true story here, which is the left are crazy and violent and they killed Charlie Kirk. And you're making it about the Jews. Shut up. Get the fuck out of here with that. Miss me with that. That shit's retarded.
Say employee because they know they can get away with it because the local jurisdictions aren't going to charge them. Now, luckily, the sheriffs are planning on bringing forward charges. I hope. I did tell them I wanted to press charges. This has been elevated to both the DOJ and the DHS. They are opening an investigation as well. But
and also, Savannah was part of the Trump influencer roundtable. So Nate Friedman, Nick Shirley, Savannah Hernandez, Trump's got their back. So I hope these people are punished with the fullest extent of the law. Unfortunately, their DA is a woke liberal Soros-backed piece of crap who's probably going to let them get off. But Trump's got her back.
I'm horrified, Laura. I'm horrified.
Well, this is the United States of America. You were just standing there, and I know exactly how you feel because they surrounded me the same exact way, and they start screaming in your ear, and you know, you stuck around there a little longer than I did. I got in my car because I didn't want to deal with this, but this is their MO. They don't want anyone there because they don't want anyone knowing the truth about how many of them are paid how this is organized, who's funding it, and what they are really all about. They don't want anyone to know. If they were proud of their movement, they'd be like, welcome, you know, we'll be happy to talk to you, but they don't want that.
Absolutely, Laura. And this attack was so horrific that you now have the radical left-wing streamers and left.
And we have an ICE facility going up here in Salt Lake City, and they vandalized it. They gather outside of it. There's been violent attacks. They've attacked officers and stuff. So I'm gonna have to go out there one day once it gets opened up. But it's just crazy.
Activists coming out and denouncing this attack, saying, oh, we shouldn't touch women. That's probably a bridge too far. But again, you know, I was targeted because I work for Turning Point USA, because I'm a brown woman who thinks the wrong thing, because I am a Christian. They were mocking me for my religion. They were mocking me for my political views. They, like I said, they told me that I had no right to be on a public street, and they made sure to run me out and brutally assault me multiple times as I was trying to leave. So that's the United States of America in 2026. And my main question is, how was this allowed to happen in President Trump's America? So,
well, it should,
Laura,
the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office better do its job here, because if there was a message from on high, this will not be tolerated, then it wouldn't have been tolerated. And
no, the message is that it is tolerated. You'll get away with it. You'll get bonded out by some bail fund that's been set up by some liberal Antifa group, has bail funds set up. So as soon as you go in, they get you bailed out. You don't even have to pay anything. And then the DA forgets to file the case.
The feeling here is that it's okay to do this.
They all look like blobfishes. That's crazy. So that's it for the news. I don't have no rapid fire news. We do got some funny reels we can watch before I go. Remember when John Silva dropped Alan Arnold and then stood on his back? Well, apparently he turned him into a skateboard. Watch this. Oh! So stupid. What's this? I don't remember this one. What is this? I don't know what this one is.
2-week-old unrefrigerated pie. Eat a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie.
Okay, I didn't even save that one. I don't even know how that got in there. This one's pretty crazy. Watch this bull rider. Look at him showboat. He's gonna go do a little backflip at the fence. He survived the bull riding. Gets up. He's gonna showboat a little bit.
Woo! Oh my God! Oh,
backflip.
Boom! Oh my God!
Got him. Damn. Shouldn't have been showing off, buddy. Okay, me rolling up to my first No Kings protest. This girl's rolling up to her first No Kings protest. Is she a liberal? Let's find out. She's rolling up to her first No Kings protest. Bass chick. And last but not least, this is Rampage Jackson. Rampage Jackson playing Who's That Pokemon?
Who's that Pokemon?
Gengar?
Nigga.
Y'all embarrassing me in front of the legend, Mark Coleman? Call me a nigger Pokemon?
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Nigga.
All right, guys. That's all I got. It's 8:40. I got to get ready for work. Thank you guys for hanging out. Where can we raid you to? Easy's live. Let's go over there. Let me grab that real quick. All right, guys. The world's a crazy place. I just report on it. You know, this has been the Dreaded Conservative show every Monday night, kicking the week off right. If you like it, tell a friend. If you hate it, tell everybody. I'm going to go. I got to go to work. God bless you guys. Thank you for hanging out. I won't be here in the morning for a Bible study stream because when I get off work, I'm going to come home and go to bed because tomorrow night we have a debate. So be back same time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be live on Swords of Reason talking about debating Iran with Vigilante. I'm going to be defending my president and his actions in Iran. So make sure you catch that tomorrow. And I will see you guys later. Send you over to Speakeasy. Put some chairs in his chat. Say what up. Make sure you like the stream on your way out. But God bless everybody. I will see you later. We out. Peace. We out. Deuces.